Okay, lots going on in my life, and I'm going to let you all in on it. I've had a stalker for going on 6 years. Actually, it's more like 16. I've known this person since high school, and even when I had things going on in my life, she was always calling me, telling me that it was more important to talk to her, that work or what was going on in my life was never important, that she should be the important one. And I'm going to read you all something that is on my YouTube account. I've got posted under my comment section. I'm not a stalker. I have never been a stalker. But I had a friend in high school named Brandy Combs, and she was controlling, possessive of me. She always tried to tell me who I was allowed to talk to, and always tried to control me. Let's just say it not last long. I kept giving her chances after chances, and every time it always ended with the same results. I kept giving her chances because I felt sorry for her. She didn't have very many real friends, and I was trying to be that for her. As I got older, she started calling me at all hours, knowing I had a job and I had to be at work. She would tell me that work should not matter, that talking to her should matter more. And I was taking care of my family, and my mother was having health issues, so I had to take care of my family. Anytime I would not agree with her decision, she would start making fun of me, my boyfriend at the time. Anytime I had something happen in my life, she was never there for me. But over the years, I was there for her. Over the last 13 years, let's just say, that the pattern never changed. She started sending me threatening emails because I told her our friendship was over because I chose my family over someone who had no idea what it meant to take care of others. About 2 years ago, I gave her another chance. My boyfriend James and I went to her home. Her boyfriend Sean Caraway was in from Florida. We stayed about 3 hours. When we were leaving, my boyfriend then, my husband now, looked at me and asked me why I waited on her in her own home. He said usually when anyone has guests over, they don't turn them into help. James told me that he felt unwelcome and that the only reason we were invited over was for me to take care of her. She was not sick in any way. She just did not want to get things for herself. I would have understood waiting on her if she were sick. She just wasn't. It took me a while and a lot of thought. That visit was just about controlling me yet again. Then she started on social media, harassing and stalking me. If I signed up on a social media site, the next day, she was right behind me, calling me names, making fun of the person I was with, and it still holds true today. I've changed emails so many times in the last 5 years, it's not funny. Yet, she gets it the next day. That's what you call a stalker, not me. Okay. This has been going on for years. I ran into my aunt the other day while I was out, and she asked me how the situation was. I didn't lie to her. I told her the truth. I told her everything. I said she still stalks my social media. I've blocked her. I said I've blocked, I would say, around the range of 100 Facebook accounts now. At this point, I do random searches for anything that I think she may be under, and I block it. I've had to start doing this to start to protect myself and my family. I then email my family the new list, and so far it's pretty far up there. It's about 100 emails, 100 different email accounts, and everything else that I've blocked. And, it's crazy. But yeah, I told my aunt, I said, yeah, she still stalks all my social media. She's crazy, My aunt says, yeah, I'm glad that you're dealing with it really well. She goes, if it was up to me, she goes, I would be at her door ready to kick her butt. But she didn't use that word. She used a lot more foul language than, this person. My family's been through a lot, but you know what? We don't let that define us. We are who we are because we know what we're doing is right and wrong. I'm a grown adult. I make my own decisions. I do my decisions are based on me, not anybody else, not anybody that anything does to me, or anybody does to me, I make my own decisions. I've grown up making my own decisions from the time of an early age. My mother had been sick. She has, so far at this point, she's had 20 strokes, and each time it gets worse and worse. But anytime they need me, she now lives in another state, but anytime that they call, I usually, head out within an hour. And I'm down there in about 2.5 hours, where she lives at now. So, yeah, my mother has a lot of health issues. As a grown adult, you make your own decisions. You don't let the people around you define who you are. I love to work. All my customers love me. 90% of the people who come through drive-thru tell me that I've memorized their order so well that they ask me when my next shift is and if I will be at work the next day. So, my customers are my best friends. I see, I would say, around 500 people a day, if not more. I know 90% of their orders, which, memory-wise, that is pretty good. And this person has been stalking me for years. And it's got to the point where I'm getting ready to contact my phone company to see if my IP has been tampered with, has been, in any way tampered with. If so, I will make sure that that is not going to be possible again. How in the world can somebody get a new email address that I've had 2 days? Not possible, but according to this person, it is possible. I have had numerous email addresses in the last 5 years because of this person. I've had to change cell phone numbers. I've had to, the only reason we haven't changed our home phone number is because the person whose name it's in is a relative's, and we were actually getting ready to change that because we're to the point where we can't stand the thoughts that that person may call. I've had this person call me before, cuss me out. I mean, I'm just telling you everything I can to tell you the truth. I never had drama in my life until I met that person. At least this person here. Never had drama in my life until she came into my life. And my life is pretty ordinary. I work, come home, do everything I need to do, go out, do what I need to do. I have friends all over the world, everywhere. Not just in, I know 9% of the people who live here in Kentucky, in our little small town of Hazard. Yes, it is a very small town, but we only have 2 McDonald's, and they're both ran by the same people, which our owner is a wonderful person. He's willing to work with you in any way he possibly can. I couldn't ask for a better boss or the owner of the store. He's more of a friend than a boss. Even our regional manager is very wonderful. He's very hands-on. He is always in the store at least 2 to 3 times a week. And it's got to the point where they ask me things. Even my store manager asks me, is she still bothering you? And I'll tell them the truth. If I'm getting emails that week, I'll let them know. If I'm getting, harassed on other social media sites, I'll let them know. So, I'm just telling you what I'm going through with this. As for my family life, it's normal. My family's growing, which is normal, Thank God it is. And my life is just, it's been wonderful. My whole entire life has always been wonderful. My parents made a divorce when I was 2, but I always had 2 Christmases, 2 birthdays, 2 Thanksgivings. Any holidays I always had 2 of. So I was very, very grateful and very fortunate to have 2 of everything. So, I've always excelled in everything, in part due to my family and the wonderful support system that I have. Now, like I've been saying, I'm a grown adult. We all make our own decisions, and we all have to live with the consequences. I stick with mine. And as a person of God, I'm going to be, tell you the truth. I will stick to my word to the letter, because that's just me. That's the way I was raised. And, I wish other people was raised with that kind of drive to have more morals in their life. Now I have friends who have morals, who have respect for others, who don't just use people, because, I was always getting used by this person, and it just got old, If it wasn't for, movie tickets or, popcorn and stuff at the movies, money to eat on during, things that happen here, like during Black Gold, I was basically her ATM. Me and my husband both were. So that's one of the reasons why I chose to end the friendship, because, it wasn't like that she was helping me out in any way. It was more like they were dependent on us. So, I'm just telling you all the truth and how I see it. And as for this person who came into my life, I talked to her a couple times online. After she violated my privacy, I didn't see the point in talking to somebody who violated my privacy without asking my permission. You can ask first. You don't have to turn over something and say, hey, here, I want you to see this. Me and my husband don't do that. But, I thank God for everything I do have. I thank God for the wonderful friends I have. And, that person needs to admit, hey, I wanted to leave because I want to, not because, this person made me. How can I make her? She was living 1,000 miles away. What's the logic of that? Obviously, it was something they wanted to do, not anything that I did. But, I love everything about my life and the friends that I have now. I am very community oriented. I am in the community every day. And 5 days a week, I work. I love to work. I love to be able to go and my customers are not only customers, they're my friends. I know 90% of them by name. I know 90% of their orders. So, that's why people like coming to McDonald's, because they don't have, they're not ordering from a cashier who has no life, or they're not ordering from somebody who doesn't know them. If you get to know the people around you, really get to know them. I'll ask, there's this one customer that comes in and she likes her food a certain way, and I have fun. I look at her and say, okay, do you want this with it today? She's like, no, okay, I'll take it like this. So I usually ask questions, because I know usually 9% of what they order. And I have fun at work, and I'm very grateful. I've been there almost 6 years now, and a lot of people come in nervous. We have newbies still. We hire at least 5 people a week, and it takes about 4 days training to get them to where they need to be. Sometimes a little bit longer depending on where they're going. But, I'm also a crew trainer, which I love that. I love that aspect. I get to help them out and help them reach their full potential. And as doing that, you see a lot of people. One of the first people I trained looked at me and said, honey, she goes, it doesn't look that hard being on this side of the counter. She goes, but being on that other side of the counter, she goes, I couldn't do it. She goes, I have a lot more respect for people like you all, because you do it every day. You make it look easy. It's not about making it look easy. It's about doing it to the procedure and following it. But even in life, there's rules. So I follow those rules at work, and I follow them at home. And I do what I can for my family and my friends. And I have a lot of fun doing that. I grew up at an early age because, like I say, my mother was having health issues. And I learned then that you have to have manners and respect for people, because who's going to come and talk to you if you don't have no manners and respect for others? This person who I've been telling you about, she has not had no respect for me or my family. She's emailed my nephews, who were 12 at the time, threatening me, threatening my home, my work. I mean, this was on Facebook, for crying out loud. Who does something like that? You don't do that. I mean, a couple Christmases ago, I was sitting here and my cousin, sent me a PM, private message down from Facebook. Do you have a new Facebook account? I'm like, no, only have one. So, got up there and found out it was this person she's had several Facebook accounts as me. I'm not really surprised. She's stalker, big time. And it's got to the point where, I have to stay a step ahead of her to be able to have a full life and to be able to have a less stressful life. Like I said in the last week, I've blocked 20 more profiles. Who has that much time? I know I don't, because I get up very early and I have to be at work before the sun. Usually when I'm at work, I see the sun rise, and as I'm coming home, it's noon by then. So I open, so that means I've got a lot of responsibilities and a lot of procedures I have to follow every day. I have 2 hours worth of work to get done in an hour's time. So yes, I push it. I push myself. I push my limits. I lift over 2,000 ounces of tea a day. And what I did was I went by the gallon size, and I added it all up. And that's a day. I'm talking about a week. Because in a week, that number would be very far up there. I just got curious of how often, how much I'd be lifting. And that's not including everything else I do and all the other things that I am in charge of. But to me, work is fun. I have really good references from other places I have worked. I have worked at Walmart, and my customers loved me then. I got high recommendations even then as a cashier. That's where I started out at. I worked at Sykes for a while, but due to health issues, I couldn't work there very long. So, even after that, I still continue to work again with Walmart as a remodel crew. I worked third shift lifting shelves that weighed 3 times as much as I did. It was fun. It was something, my stress levels and stuff then were really high because of a lot of family issues going on then. But my life, I'm just going to tell you right now, I love it. And even though I do have a stalker, which is, like I showed you this woman, she's been stalking me for the past 5 years. Almost 6, let's face it, it's almost 6 years now. She still keeps up with all my social media, all my emails, and like I said, I have to contact the phone company now to make sure that my IP is still safe because of things that, I'm concerned about, like my emails. How many people has to be worried about that? But I am going to get off here and post this to YouTube. But my message to everybody out there is, if you're an adult, act like it. Don't act like you're a preteen or a teenager. Act your age, not your mentality level. Because obviously your mentality level needs to come up. If you're stalking somebody, it needs to stop. You need to grow up, get a life, and, I'm going to, sign off here and let y'all see this video. And I know my stalker and her little cronies are not going to like my video because it's usually the way they are. And I don't really care anymore, if you're going to stick up with a crazy stalker, somebody who stalks somebody's life and makes them, to the point where I've went to the police, I've went to the county attorney's office, and it's just got to the point where it's a laughing matter at this point. It's not like she can do anything to me. Not like she ever has. She's never done nothing to me, to my family, besides emailing us and crap and sending my aunt friend request, which she, of course, denied. And my sister and her at one point in time, I was on the phone with them when they were, she was texting them. How crazy is that? So, I know it's going to take a while for this video because it's pretty long. So, I'll see you all around, and I'll talk to you all later. So, I just wanted to read you what was on my, on my YouTube account, and I'm going to show you, a picture and tell you what's going on. And I have to work in the morning, so I'm looking very forward to that and seeing my customers again. I hope you all have a happy new year, and thanks for watching.